What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. We got the painters in the background working on my basement, getting all the mold taken care of. We had mold in the basement. So, yeah, drywall's put in. Painters are here. We get carpet next week, so I'll be able to get my office put back together so I can quit doing live streams in the middle of my basement. Excuse me. All right. Anyway, welcome you guys. Thanks for joining me. I've got $1,000 worth of trading bonuses to give away today, so stay tuned for that. You do need to have a PrimeXBT account to receive that, so make sure you create one. If you go to Twitter and you go to my pinned tweet, there is a referral link in there you can use to sign up, and you can get up to $7,000 trading bonus as well for using that. Yeah. Anyway, PrimeXBT kicked off U.S. residents recently. Big bummer. You have to have a VPN if you want to try it from the U.S. Otherwise, if you're outside the U.S., you can use it freely, no issues. So yeah, they booted me, but still a great exchange. I have not tried to set up an account with VPN yet, but they're still sponsoring these awesome videos. They're still a great exchange, so if you want to check them out, give them a try. There's a link below in the description or my pinned tweet. I got Bitcoin pulled up here, you guys, and if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that we caught a really nice short here this morning. I could have tried to hold, but things have been pretty choppy lately, so I just got out. But you can see here exactly what happened. We had a close below. So here's what happened. We'll just talk through the setup, okay, through this trade. So we have this nice uptrend line here. And you can see here we've got some high selling volume here, right? Look at this high selling volume right here and right here. A lot of seller volume. And that's telling me that we have a high volume momentum shift. And actually, we've got so many routes of confirmation here. This is a really nice example because, and again, this is a 30-minute chart, you guys. You can see that up here. So, yes, Arsenal are looking good this year, you guys. We're feeling good about Arsenal. It's really good to see them doing well. They've got a solid squad of like 23-year-olds. It's really cool to see a young team with such passion that, really wants to do well. So anyway, so we have a ton of confirmation pieces here. We've got a head and shoulders right here. So that's a reversal pattern. Bam. Then we've got this. So we have a pattern here because when you're trading, like you can have one confirmation piece, you can have multiple. You can have patterns, you can have candlesticks, you can have trends, you can have volume, momentum, right? So we have like everything here. So this is a really good trade opportunity. We've got the head and shoulders, which you just talked about, which would have broken down right here. Okay, this is where it broke down. It retested and went lower. Beautiful. Okay, then we've got this high volume 30-minute bearish engulfing candle. Okay, high volume. That is the highest volume here locally. That's telling me that there's a possible momentum shift, and it's an engulfing candle, so that's multiple confirmations, right? So then you've got this nice uptrend here, and it touches 4 times, and on the 5th time it breaks, and it retests and goes lower, so there's more confirmation piece. OBV was showing weakness over here. We have Top Goon X giving us a bearish divergence alert here, and we reject, and we drop. And it was pretty straightforward. I closed at this support because I didn't want to mess around with any chop, or I didn't want to see us bounce around or whatever. But you can see here, if we waited for a 30-minute close, we would have had a breakdown, and we have a retest, and we go lower. So it's really clean price action. And you can see here, just from a low time frame perspective, look at the highest volume right now. And that is right here. So we don't want to see price. Well, we don't really care, I guess, if we're traders. But, everyone's always bullish and likes bullish stuff. So what you wouldn't want to see if you're bullish is these 2 candles close below. Because this is where all the volume has come in on this move, right? So if we get below that, you have the highest bidding area becomes underwater. And then it leads to further sell-off usually. So anyway, let me check some. I see some of you guys got in on the trade. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear. I'm always happy when you guys are making money. Obviously not all trades will be successful, but as far as on Twitter, I try to post invalidations because a lot of people they just post. They post here. This looks like it's going to go up, and they don't tell people where the invalidation is, and then nobody knows how to manage their risk. So my important thing is education, teaching you guys, even if we're wrong, which will happen in trading, that we're managing our risks, we're keeping our downside, minimal, and we're making smart decisions, because over time, if you're using good risk management, then you're going to most likely be successful. Whereas if you have poor risk management, and I actually had somebody DM me the other day that said, hey man, I'll do great, I'll go on huge runs, and then I give it all back in like an hour or a day. And it's like, that's just poor risk management, and you're not using real trade setups, and you're just revenge trading. So you really need to find setups, and if you're trying to long this and it's not working, stop trying, right? Like, here's what a lot of people do is they FOMO into, like, they haven't long the whole time, and then up here they're like, God, that's a huge candle, we're gonna go way up. And so they FOMO here, and then they close, and then they FOMO here again, and then they close, and then they FOMO here again, and they're like, I'm gonna hold this time, and then it goes down and they close, and then it takes off again, and they're like, shit, it really is gonna go up, I'm gonna FOMO long again, and then it nukes on them, and they just take huge losses because they're just fighting it. But there's no true setup. They're just buying because they feel like it's going to go up, which is not a successful strategy. Okay. Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the explanations. Somebody said, oh, I should have held that short. Who cares? Don't think you should have done anything in a trade. My trade setup for this, you guys, that I posted was literally this, and I actually posted this in my free Telegram, but this was my trade setup in Telegram. It was exactly this. So I didn't even think twice about closing. I said, okay, my target has been hit, I'm out, and that was it. Target got hit, I closed. Now I could have gotten back in after this close below. I could have gotten back in up here with like a pretty tight stop and opened another trade. Okay, that would have been a separate trade setup. But again, I went to do a live stream anyway, so that's irrelevant. I wasn't trading after that. But yeah, so that could have been a new trade. But too many times, you guys, here's what'll happen. If you're trading and you're not following your setups, you'll do this. You'll go, okay, here's my setup. I'm going to put a stop loss here and a target here. And you're going to go, okay, it hit. I don't want to take profit. I think this is going to go lower. And then what happens? Boom. It goes right back up and you close at break even or loss, right? So if you have a setup and you're following it, just keep closing when your targets are reached, and keep going on to the next one, because too many times you're going to see it go back against you and you're just leaving unrealized profits on the table. What are the lines that showed in the ALB trade setup? Okay, so somebody asked about my trade setup this morning on ALB, which is actually hitting target here, but I closed it on this drop. This was just a momentum short, you guys. We have OBV rejecting multiple times. The whole market was looking weak. ALB has been kind of following along with FCX a little bit too, and FCX was dropping ahead of time. So ALB was more so momentum trade for me. Like, we had this really high volume 1H sell candle here. The rest of the market was looking weak. We got a really weak pop today, and I just basically said, okay, like, I'm just going to short this up here with a tight stop loss. And it's a good risk to reward. This is a momentum play. Everything else is looking weak. So that's the reason I took that. But again, it was good risk to reward, really tight stop loss. The whole market was looking weak, and this is kind of like a descending channel too. Like either like this. I mean, you could draw it like this. I would probably draw it like this. Like we had this support here. So I could have waited. So we had this one close below here on high volume, and then the next one started to get below. So I think I got in like right here, like 284-ish, I think. So I got in once momentum had already started and we were back below this level, and I was just basically counting on momentum to keep taking us lower, and with the rest of the market looking weak, it was a pretty easy kind of guess, if you must. But yeah, here's Bitcoin looking weak. Look at that. That's not a good candle. I mean, this isn't looking good at all right now, you guys. We could chop around in this little range a little bit, but yeah, my expectation was for this to go lower here to this, at least this area. But I couldn't discount, with how choppy things have been, I couldn't discount more bullshit in here. And Bitcoin hasn't been having much volatility when stock markets are open lately. So I was just locking in my profit and then getting into live stream with you guys. So let's see what you got here. I'm reading your comments. Somebody asked for a tip to grow a small account. Um, you know, that's a hard question to answer. I've answered that on live streams before. Basically, it depends on how much, like if you're using $100 and your leverage account and your spot account is like $500 or $1,000, that's not very much, or that's not very much in comparison. So you're going to be being more conservative with it. Now, if you have like $100,000 spot trading portfolio and your leverage trading portfolio is $100, okay, you can be a little bit more aggressive with that $100 because you have this large spot trading portfolio that you can move another $100 into if you blew the account or whatever. But the best practice, okay, because what's going to happen is a lot of times if you're aggressive with a small account, then it grows and you just keep being aggressive and then eventually you're going to lose it. So the best practice is to kind of forget the dollar value of an account and look at it more in percentages and just manage it by percentage. Like, don't risk, like on leverage accounts, if they're a smaller account, I'm okay risking like 5% of my account on a trade if it's a smaller leverage account, okay? Now, if it's a tiny leverage account, maybe I could risk 10 to 15, 20% of the account. But again, that's only if it's tiny, okay? On a larger leverage account, I would say like probably like 2 to 3% risk max, okay? But again, my leverage accounts are not near as size of my spot portfolio. Okay, on spot portfolio, it's 1 to 2% max. That's just the standard. It's not always followed. Like in the bull market, it was sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to give myself a 5% risk here because everything's taking off and I can go a little bit heavier because I've been making good money on the bull market, right? But general rule, 1 to 2% risk. Like on my stock account, lately I've been risking like 0.5% on my trades. And then when the market's hot or, conditions are fire or whatever, conditions are really good and there's a lot of volatility, maybe I'll risk like 1 to 2, but right now everything's been choppy. So I've been doing like 0.5% risk. But if you're risking more than that, generally 2, 3, 4 trade losses in a row are going to get you down like 5 to 10%. If you're risking a lot, or maybe 15%, that's hard to dig out of. So doing 1 to 2% max is a good rule to live by, and it's going to help because just the hardest part is growing out of a losing account because you mentally feel like you need to make it back and you really don't. And one of the things I've just learned is I always know my account's going to go up eventually if I stick to my strategies, right? If I stick to my strategy, my risk management, I always know that my account's going to go up, okay? But what I used to do, I'd be like, oh no, this is a big loss. I got to make it back right away. Okay, I'm good now, right? Like, that's not a good strategy. There's many times where I'll take a few losses over like 2 or 3 days, and it takes me like a week or two to make it back, okay? But that's fine because usually once you get that through that trend line or whatever, through that resistance, then it starts to go a little parabolic at that point. For whatever reason, I've just noticed that once it's just sometimes it takes me forever to get back to that previous level, but once I do, usually it's like a quick pop after, just because things have been going well or whatever, or maybe it's just a part of the strategies where your strategies are eventually gonna take off. So yeah, I mean, look, you guys, right when we got on stream, we had a nice close below, and now we're going to next support level. I wanted to post this on Twitter, but I didn't get time. I'm going to post it quick here on my other screen. Oh, man. All right, I need to do some trading bonus giveaways here in a second. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to post a new tweet on my Twitter, and then one of you guys randomly that comments on it with a food. One of you guys randomly, 2 people can randomly comment on it with a name of a food, which is just going to confuse people on Twitter. But comment on it with the name of a food, and I will like 2 of your comments, and then the 2 people that get your comment liked can DM me, and I'll send you a code after the live stream's over. So hold on here, I gotta find this. All right. Okay. Hold on, I haven't posted it yet. Bitcoin. Okay, I'm gonna post it. You guys retweet it and comment on it with a random food, and then I'll like 2 of your comments here in a minute. Okay, bam, it's live. It is live. Man, Bitcoin is just nuking. It's like a 2% drop on stream. Jeez. Gee willikers. My MCO, I don't know if anybody is hanging out in an MCO short with me, but this thing's doing great. I don't know why. I had some long exposure last week on Friday, and I closed like 90% of it, and I was like, I'm going to get a little short exposure. Freaking nailed this. I was like, it's at resistance. The monthly, look at this, you guys. This monthly chart looks ugly. Okay, everyone's probably over on Twitter right now commenting food. I can't wait to see the food you guys post. I don't know why. Okay, but like look at this huge breakdown here on MCO on the monthly chart. Now, will I hold this to 160? Probably not, because I don't have the hands for that. I mean, for me, this looks like it's going to at least 200. But my like guaranteed level is like 277-ish right here at this SMA, right? This is like per my trading strategy. This is like the level that should 100% reach. Anything lower than that is kind of depends. But you can see here, we're kind of doing the thing Bitcoin did, right? We've got this trend breakdown, a retest, and now we're just tanking. So we've got this first level here, and then we got this next level here. And then below that, it gets ugly, and it probably just keeps nuking and makes new lows, right? So, all right, let me see what kind of food you guys posted. Thanks. Let's see. Must have had sushi for dinner last night. Sausage in honor of Vitalik. Oh, God. Okay, did you guys see that? All right. This guy gets a like. Sausage in honor of Vitalik. All right. I liked somebody's comment already here. Did you guys see... that picture of it, hold on, I'll find it. 1 second. I gotta show you this picture, you guys. Hold on, I can't get this to work. 1 second. All right, let's see. Okay, I gotta go through one of my DMs. That's why I moved this off. Okay, this is hilarious. And you guys will have to read the comments later. But I don't know what's going on here. This is pretty funny though. Just look at his face. This guy just cracks me up. He's so goofy. Anyway, yeah. So that's funny. Okay. Anyway, back to the comments. We like the sausage one. That's a good one. That's well timed. Rice all day. Jackfruit tacos. Nobody posted about the waffle taco, did they? No waffle taco pattern post. Looks like eggplant parmesan. Burger with fries. Sushi. Oh, we like the cupcake emoji. We like the cupcake emoji. We got 2 winners. All right, we got 2 winners, you guys. DM me. I like the cupcake emoji, and I like the sausage Vitalik. So if I liked your comment, DM me. Thanks, you guys, for participating. That was fun. We'll do more. I've still got a ton to give away. So if you ask questions on here, actually at Ren Fistrovic. I probably said that totally wrong. DM me though. You asked a few questions. I already answered them. So okay, let's see. I risked 10% for every trade. Started pretty good. It was up 20%. Lost it. Wanted to make it back on high leverage, and now I'm down 30%. Yes, you guys, that is like the biggest no-no in the world. Okay? Like, it's not a good strategy because, like, it's only a ticking time bomb until you're wrong so many times that it doesn't work. And this has happened to me in the past so many times. Like, something's going up, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to short here. It doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to short here. Okay, I'm going to double down here. Okay, this is my last one. I'm going to triple down here. Boom. And it just pops through, and then that's when it goes. And I'm like, okay, well, I definitely have to close here. And it's like, I didn't have a setup. I just thought it was going to drop, right? And I was just shorting the piss out of it, and it didn't work. Like, you can't do that. You cannot do that. You need to set up. You need to find a true setup. So, like, if it goes up here, and you're like, oh, here's an actual setup. Okay, I'm going to get in here, and it doesn't work out, you're done. You're done. Put the chart away for a little bit. Come back and see if you can find a new setup later if you want, okay? But trust me, you guys, that'll be the biggest thing to save you money is put the chart away. If you get stopped out on a trade, don't immediately get back in. because a lot of times it's not done right away. If you're trying to short or long, like it's going to go lower or higher. And then when you come back, you might see, oh, well, that was a head and shoulders. Okay, that's a clear setup. Now I can get in right here. But too many times you just revenge trade or you get emotions, right? So then the point I was making is that is a sustainable strategy for a short period of time of going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's only a matter of time until your account's down so much, and then you go back to your normal strategy, and it takes you forever to rebuild. And what I mean by that is basically like you're taking like a 1% risk, right? You're taking a 1% risk, and you're doing okay, and your account's kind of slowly going up, and you're like, oh, I'm going to take a big risk here, and it didn't work out. Okay, so you just undid like 2 weeks worth of work there on one trade. And you're like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just go big on the next trade and make it up. And you go big, and now you're down below what you were just did in the last month. And you're like, shit, okay. And you're like, all right, well, I'll try one more time. Oh, yeah, okay, that was nice. I made a nice trade. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. And now you tank this, and you're like, okay, now I'm down way bigger than I should be. And it's just going to keep going. So you're like, okay, I'm going to go back to my normal risk management. And you're like, okay, well, this is taking me now 3 months to get back half of this because it's so, like, do you guys get what I'm saying? So it's more about protecting your downside, because over time, if you're protecting your downside, your upside is probably going to be better, because you will inevitably have some big runners. It's just going to happen where sometimes you'll just have a trade just freaking take off and go crazy, and you'll have a huge P&L. But you have to keep that downside risk minimized, because what happens is you get in this hole and you just can't dig yourself out. Okay, you just literally can't dig yourself out, and if you do, and most people just literally can't. Like, they just never will. They're just going to lose, keep losing, because they're mentally screwed, okay? And that's the one thing you need to avoid. So my suggestion, if you get down big like this, I would almost withdraw a little bit. If it's not very much, you could add back to get back to this level for your mental sake, right? And then start over. But the key is you have to get and stay with this 1% risk management, or 2%, or something small. You have to have a set risk management. You have to have set strategies, because the key here is if you're just randomly entering positions because you want to, you don't have, like, the reason we build strategies as traders is because let's say my strategy is 55% accurate or 60% accurate. So I know over time that 60% of the time my trades are going to win. So over time, my trading should look like this regardless, right? It should just slowly go up, because I know that 60% of the time it's right, or it's successful, okay? But if you're doing a random strategy, or you just don't know why you're entering trades, maybe you're only right 40% of the time. So what's going to happen that 40% of the time? And if your risk management's bad, it's going to be even worse, because now it's even more randomized. So you need set variables. You need to take all the variables out, and you need to have set strategies. Like the house always has the advantage. So you really have to give yourself as much of an advantage as you can and make things in your favor. And you just have to conquer the mental aspect of it. And the longer you do it, the easier it becomes. And if you're feeling like emotional, you need to put the charts away, or like maybe have like a hard set. Like, if my account goes down 3% on any given day, I'm just done trading for that day and for the next day after, and maybe even the next day after that, right? Because sometimes you could be like, okay, well, I'm going to be done for today, and then you come back tomorrow and you're still angry, or you're still like, oh, I took too big of a loss yesterday, I got to make it back. And what happens is you just end up losing more. Another rule I usually have is if I have a big trading day, I take the next day off, because after a big trading day, it's easy to get cocky and lose. Plus, usually after a big trading day, the market gets choppy or it rebounds and you still think you can trade in that direction. So there's just so many things that go along with it, you guys. And the biggest thing is just to have the long run in mind, because a lot of people just think from here to here, and they want to see their account go straight up here. Okay. But even if their account does go straight up here in that short period of time, they're not thinking from here to here. And what happens from here to here is this. Okay? But if you think if you think from here to here in the long term, okay, you might just be from here to here in this, but from here to here, you might actually do this. And you're way higher than you ever expected. Okay? Because once your account starts to grow, you can trade a little bit larger positions, right? Because if you're thinking in percentages, you can start trading. Now that your account has doubled here, you can trade double the position size. You can make money twice as fast. You can also lose money twice as fast. But if you stick with what strategies have been successful over time, and if you have a year of using these strategies, then you're probably going to be okay. Now, market conditions change, and you have to adapt to that. Sometimes you say, okay, this strategy just isn't working. This pattern was working, hasn't been working. I'm going to throw it out for now. Can't use it right now. Oh, God. There was a new token made for Vitalik. All right, let's see how much time we got left. All right, we got about 10 minutes left, you guys. I knew it was wrong, but I was did that last night on a Bitcoin pump. I knew it was wrong, but I was in revenge mode. Yeah, it happens, JMW. Here, JMW, we'll hook you up. J. Okay. And you guys, if you're new, if you just are tuning into the stream, if you want a trading bonus, you need to have a PrimeXBT account. So there's a link below in the description, or you can go to my Twitter pin tweet, and there's a link in there. And you also can get up to a $7,000 deposit bonus for that too. If you're a U.S. resident, you got to use a VPN. Unfortunately, they just changed that not long ago. But looking at Bitcoin, you guys, oh, this is ugly. This is not good. I mean, this very likely could break the lows. I'm kind of on team chop around more. I just feel like we're going to chop to shit. Like, I just feel like we're going to, maybe it's just because we've been chopping so long that that's just what's been happening. But this is ugly. We've got an hour until close, and that's not looking good. And that's a high sell volume 1H candle. Like, we're friggin' toast here, you guys. This isn't good. Like, look at, this is all the volume right here. And we're like struggling to hold on to this volume. So, Satoshi Heavy has joined the party. What's up, bro? Satoshi is a legend. Yeah, I mean, he created Top Gun X. He helped me create Top Gun X, which is absolutely awesome. So, welcome, Satoshi. Thanks for joining me, bro. I'm glad you guys liked the short this morning. What's my bottom prediction on Bitcoin? I mean, who cares? Here's the deal, you guys. Like, don't try to predict a bottom. Just wait until a bottom occurs and then trade it from there. Like, we saw this on the 4H the other day. If you were trying to call a bottom here, you got wrecked the whole time. We didn't have any bottom confirmation. Now, here was the first time we had a local bottom confirmation, and it only held for this amount of time. But this was, where I said, okay, you can look for longs here and blah, 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 and we should see some upside. Now, I thought we'd get a little bit higher. I thought we'd get to like 2700-ish. And we went to 2600-ish. So I was just a little off on my resistance. How do I know what fib levels will be significant? Well, it depends on how you're trading. So that's a great question, Turin. Okay, so I've given away 5 trading bonuses now. Okay, so I got 5 trading bonuses left, you guys. But the question was, how do I know what fib levels will be significant? Well, I do have some videos on this. It depends on how you're trading, honestly. Like with Top Gun X, the 0.786 fib and the 1.337 fib are the important ones, and then you also have the 0.236 fib that are important. If I'm trading impulses like altcoins, and again, I do have videos on this, but like let's say an altcoin impulses, okay? Then I'm going to go from top to bottom, and I'm going to look at the 0.382 fib level, okay? Hopefully you guys can see this okay. And then I'm going to look to buy a bounce right here at the 0.382 fib level, okay? And usually to at least the 0.236 fib. So that's kind of where I'm going to look for my trade if I am trading altcoin impulses. So I'm going to wait to the impulse to reject. I'm going to try to quickly long the 0.382 to the 0.236, quick scalp in and out, okay? Maybe it goes a little bit higher, but that's generally what I look for on that. So it depends on what you're trading. Some people really like the golden pocket, which is this one here. 0.618 to 0.65. Some people like the 0.5 fib, and different assets will have different Fibonacci levels that they follow. So if you're watching, you know, different assets, then you might want to kind of go back and see what fib level it usually bounces at or whatever. So, well, Bitcoin kind of held the support, so I wonder if it bounces soon. I mean, it's definitely risky to long here. 15-minute looks okay. I mean, you definitely don't want to chase short here. That's for damn sure. You obviously wouldn't want to long this yet, though. Like, this is just knife catching. So, like, if you're looking for a long, you'd want to wait for a reclaim here, and then you'd try to hop in. And honestly, you'd probably only get to, like, here, so it wouldn't even go as high. And this is a 1-minute chart, you guys. This would be what I would be looking for. I'd look for a quick reclaim, and I would just get out at a quick bounce. This is kind of maybe a double bottom. We have really nice high volume here. So this could double bottom. 1H would look decent if that happens. It did. The key here is it held the support. If it would have closed below that, like it did earlier on the 30-minute, how we had this close below, then you wouldn't even look to long. But since it kind of held support, you could maybe consider a long here, but you're just knife catching. So you would, you know, zoom down and you would wait for a confirmation. Like this is a high volume 5-minute candle. So if this is reclaimed, then we probably bounce a little bit. We've got some resistance up here. So then if we go to the 1 minute, we've got that same confluence where I kind of pointed out, like, you know, so similar confluence. So if I would have longed here, I'd already be in profit. You know, it could still wick below. Again, we don't have any confirmation of bottom yet. So this is why I said, somebody asked me my prediction for the Bitcoin bottom is I don't make predictions of bottoms because this could just keep going lower on any time frame. This could just nuke here. I wait until after, and if this reclaims here, I say, okay, that's a local quick bottom, and even if it's only for, you know, a couple $100 bounce, I know that that's at least where the bottom should be. So it's just over time, you guys trying to guess bottoms and tops, you get wrecked. Like even when I short, I usually wait until there's an initial rejection and then I get in on a quick rebound and watch it go down. I'm rarely trying to short the exact top or long the exact bottom because look at all these wicks here. Like if you're just trying to catch the bottom here, where are you catching it at? Right? You're catching it here probably because that's a long wick. And then if that doesn't work out, then maybe you're catching it here. There's a long wick here. Like if you're just doing it off of wicks, then you're just catching it a million times and getting wrecked. So there's no real, you know, like here you could maybe try it. Okay. Like if this has a nice high volume, you can maybe try it even here on this reclaim. But then you're going to probably get out quick when it doesn't work out because again, there's no confirmation yet. So anyway, we're trying to hold a double bottom here. It's low volume. So, you know, if I was knife catching here, I would go small, and then I would add on that confirmation too. So I would do a small entry here, maybe, if I thought it was going to go up. But there's absolutely no reason for me to try to catch this right now and long this. But if I was trying, I would maybe go small here. And that's what I'm guessing, you guys. If I'm guessing, I'm going small. Once I have confirmation and clear invalidation, then I can go and add size. So there's no clear invalidation here because it could go to here and bounce. It could go to here and bounce. It could go to here and bounce, right? If I think it's going to bounce soon. But if I, let's say, have a breakout here, okay, then I know that I don't want it to go below there. Because if it goes below there, I'm invalidated. And if it goes below there, it could go below here, or it could go even lower, right? So, like, if it goes below there, I'm out, and now I have a clear invalidation level. Well, here, I don't really have a clear invalidation other than below here, which could just be a little stop, hunt, and go, too. Okay? So, you need to wait for your validation. So how long did it take me to be a profitable trader? Okay, well, the last 8 months has been probably some of the worst crypto trading conditions I can remember. So if you're just learning how to trade, you're probably getting wrecked, honestly. And I mean, look at this shit. This is awful. This is back to January, you guys. And I back last year, I mean, I was trading the hell out of Bitcoin, like all day, every day. I didn't focus on anything else because it was so volatile. Last 8 months, this is awful conditions to learn in, you guys. This is just chop. Look at this chop zone. There's no trend here. Then you get one moment of drop, and then you get trend, and then you just get chop again. And you get one. So in this year, basically, let's just go from January 20th here. Or actually, from here even. So basically from the start of January, we basically had 2 days of drop, 1 day of pump, 1 day of pump, Like, look at how very few days we've had that are making for great trading on Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Maybe like 20 days out of the last 8 months. So that's a very low percentage of great trading days on Bitcoin. But now here, you look here. Look at this. I mean, look at all of these trading days that were good. Bam, just huge candles here. Huge volatility, right? That's what you want. Like, that's when you want to trade. Like, look at here. We're just trending, right? We're trending. This is good for trading. We're trending. And now we've literally just gone into death chop. So it's been terrible. You're probably not profitable if you just started trading this year. I've been trading stocks a lot more because they've been trending better. So yeah, I mean, see, look, there's our little stop hunt to wick people out. Now I don't know if we go higher yet. Again, we don't have confirmation, but anybody that just bought here probably panic sold there, right? Like on that drop because they're like, oh shit, we're going down. So anyway, yeah, Jan X, send me a DM for a bonus. All right, let's see. When do I think the bear market will be over again? I have no clue. No clue. I didn't know when the bear market was going to be over last time either, other than I said, and this was my, where are we at? So this was my conditions for bull market last time. Was here. Above this breakout, bull market. Okay, so while everyone's arguing this chop, and here people said bull market, and then we nuked for the COVID dip. Again, it was COVID dip, but the chart still said we should dip. But again, I wait for breakouts, you guys, and look at this, clean breakout. Okay, now I bought a little bit below here, but this was when you go max exposure, and look how quick and easy this is. Here is just chop. This is just chop. We have no confirmation. Okay, so it's just months, a year of chop or whatever. And then as soon as we break out and we close above this trend line, bam, that's what led to the move. So that's how I like to do my trades on low time frames and high time frames, is I literally wait for confirmation because after confirmation, I expect price to move quickly in the direction that I expect it to go in. And if it doesn't, I can simply cut. So that's how I do it. But yeah, so I don't know. I won't know when we have a bottom until I try to spot a bottom, until a bottom is formed. And right now I don't see any bottom formation. If we wanted to talk about a bottom right now on the monthly, we would need to very quickly reclaim 31,000. This would need to happen like immediately, and I would say bottom is in. And then that's simple, and we moon, and I get in a little bit higher, whatever. But for now, I'm just waiting. Look at this, is a high volume rejection candle right now. Like, this doesn't look good. And look, we have this trend line breakdown, and we're retesting it on high volume. Like, this could go to at least, this is, if I'm not as good on monthly charts as I am on, other time frame charts, but I mean, this is a very logical zone for it to go into, down below 15K. It's a very logical zone. So if I was trading this on low time frame, I would say 100%, yeah, this is very likely to go to this level. So, I mean, this isn't a good look. Look. We have a high volume bearish engulfing candle right now. Like, that is not what we want to see if you're bullish, right? So anyway, I like bottoms. I'm glad Nick likes bottoms, you guys. Good for him. Yeah, you guys. So it's about all I got for you today. Yeah, who's still here? Comment if you're still here. Let's give away. I still have like 5 more bonuses to give away. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I gave away 1, 2, 3, 4. I gave away 4, 6 already, so I still have 4 more to give away. All right, Stefan, DM me. Bam. All right, we got 4 right here. Thugga. TGX is the best indicator. Yep, you get one. And we've got in Baker. All right. I will do more giveaways soon, you guys. I need to do a Trezor giveaway soon. Oh my God, everyone's here, you guys. You guys are awesome. All right. I gave away 10 already, guys. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys all still being here. There's a lot of people still here. This is awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. This is cool. Glad I didn't bore you guys all to leaving. So thank you for staying. I had a really good dad joke planned and I totally forgot it, so I'm so sorry about that. Is volume bigger on Binance after the 0 fees on spot trading, or does it matter? That's a good question. I have no clue. I didn't even know there were 0 fees on Binance because I can't use Binance. I know there's 0 fees on Binance US, but I didn't know if that was on Binance as well. So I still use OBV on Binance only because it's still the highest volume exchange, and that's the one I had the best luck with. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much. Yes. I appreciate you guys all joining. I've got new videos coming out soon, hopefully more educational videos. I actually have like a list. I just message myself all the time if I have a video idea. Like my next video that's going to come out is going to be when to enter a trade. Because I have a video of like how to enter a trade, like the 6 steps to enter a trade, but now it's going to be like when to enter, like what are you looking for, right? Like when are you going to enter a trade? Not just like what steps you're going to take, but like actually like when am I going to, kind of some of the stuff I talked about on stream today. So yeah, I just want you guys to have so much free content, tons of education, too much bullshit on Twitter, right? Too much crap. Like people just either don't know it or they just don't want to teach it. So, but is my wife still there? No, my wife is at the park with my son and his cousins. How quickly do entries come and go? I was watching that the short this morning and I missed my entry looking for a lower high. I mean, it just depends. On lower time frames, you're going to see entries come and go a lot faster than higher time frames. So, on higher time frames, you might be waiting for weeks. Like I wanted to short MCO months ago. And I just now shorted it. Like literally months ago, I wanted to short it, and I just literally did it 3 days ago. But months ago, I posted a possible short setup. I was just waiting for, it to happen. So high time frames, you're gonna be waiting a while. Low time frames can happen quicker. So yeah, thanks you guys for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed those bonuses. The bonuses, you can't withdraw them, but you can trade with them and you can keep any profits from them. All right. So I will send you a code and you can just put it in on your PrimeXBT account to use that for trading. Otherwise, I'm done trading for the day. It was a good day. I feel like there's going to be a small long set, like a quick long soon. I don't know where. I wouldn't be looking to really short this anymore. I definitely would not be longing yet. We have some bullish divergence here. Doesn't quite look like a good long yet. There's no confirmation, but I feel like even if it like gets a little bit lower, we're close to a long setup. Now, don't get wrecked trying to long. Don't jump in just yet, because right now what's happening is this is breaking down. It broke down and it retested, and this is likely to go a little bit lower here. So again, I don't like chasing shorts here, especially when Top Goon X gets bottomed down like this. Usually that means that there's bounce coming at some point soon, but like the 1H looks like shit, you guys. Doesn't look good. That's a huge nuke candle. So any longs right now are just quick scalps, okay? And your backside could be capped right here at 19,820. So even if I was longing somewhere here, like it would be quick, but again, I wouldn't do it yet. I would definitely be cautious here, you guys. But at some point soon, we're definitely overextended here. I mean, this is definitely an overextension. It could go a little bit lower first, okay? And the 1 minute shows that it's probably going to go just a little bit lower. But this is why I don't chase shorts, because at any point it can short squeeze. And right now is probably where this is tough to say. If I was logged in and checked in, I'd be looking for a close above here. So we have some low sell volume here. Yeah, so this is where I would have considered like a small little long. But again, it might not even work out, but at least I would be in quick profit. Look, 3 minute, nice lower wicks. Bullish divergence. We need to see some upside quick, though. So like if I scalped this, I'd be like, all right, I need you to go up quick because I'm closing this if you come back down to my entry here. Like I am getting out of this, right? And there we go. So yeah, nice high volume here. Probably take half profit here at this EMA. And again, that's still probably like a 0.15% move. So if I do 25x leverage, that's a 3% move. But nice retest here. You just want to see this hold. I would have already taken half profit here, most likely, just because it's a little risky. And there we go. There's our nice little bounce that we were looking for. So, but again, we're rejecting at resistance. It's tough, but these little moves, I can make some decent money from these, right? I can make 4 or 5% on this move already. So maybe that could be $500 or $600 even on a kind of a smaller position. So, can I explain invalidations? Well, I do have a lot of videos talking about invalidations. But yeah, if you're longing here, you got to be careful. Like you'd want to, like at this point, if I got in here on this break, I would have just put a stop loss at break even here. And now that this has a nice lower wick, I would put a stop loss here into profit. Also protects me from slippage. I don't care if I get wicked out on these, because what can happen is this can just go like immediately. So when I'm scalping, everything's really tight. I'm really watching my risk. But nice 3-minute candle. Again, we had that bullish divergence here, and that's why we're getting this little bounce on low time frame. Now, if we get a 5-minute, but see, look, we don't have any bullish divergence on 5-minute, so we're getting some pushback. So where's that 2-hour? Yeah, so we're just stuck we're just stuck right now, and we're getting some nice rejectioning here. Because again, we still don't have any confirmation of this breakout. We don't quite have confirmation yet. So you'd want to see this flip, then maybe you could add a little bit back, okay? And then you close if that breaks down. But anyway, so that's my little scalp mind here. I enjoy looking at these little scalp opportunities. So I probably would have just gotten out at this point if I scalp from down here. But it looks like it might sneak higher. Like the 3-minute looks good. We've got resistance here. 5-minute closes in 2 minutes, which is in a minute, which is kind of a while. Like I'd really want to see a 5-minute bullish engulfing candle here. And if that happens, then we're going to get to 800-ish. So there we go. Now we're getting our breakout. Will it hold? It's on low volume right now, so that's not good. But, that was a nice little bounce that we were kind of expecting. Now, 1H could actually turn green and be really nice, but it could also go back because we still have a lot of time left. So, I mean, these scalps, I'm pretty much quick in and out. But, yeah, so there was our nice little bounce that we were looking for. And that's kind of how I do. Like, you guys know I like shorting, but after a move has dropped this far, like, I'm not going to be shorting this. Like, this is where I look for longs, right? And you can see if I get in, and this is why I'm patient, and if I get in here on this, like, this is just really low sell volume. That's like the lowest sell volume over here. And I kind of talked about maybe a stop hunt here, so this becomes a deviation. And then I like to get in, and you can see here, it's just straight green after I get in, right? Like, I'm not messing around. And I'm not giving myself much room to lose here. Like, when I get in, I want to see momentum go up, and it did. If it wouldn't have, I would have just gotten out. But momentum went up. We held support. Held support. Now we're above 2 supports, or we're above 2 resistances, and now we've got a nice little breakout. So probably goes a little bit higher here. One more push is where I'd definitely 100% close out if I hadn't already, or if I was just trailing a stop. But at this point, I'd be having a tight stop loss, like, definitely risking getting wicked out here, but I would definitely be careful of this closing below here and then breaking back down as a fake breakout. So nice little breakout there, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to catch you guys later. I will post updates later today if I have time. Otherwise, I'm done trading for the day, so I'll be back tomorrow, if anything. So have a good day, guys. Stay tuned for my latest video on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you again for being here. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you again for being here.